MotoGP may have waved the checkered flag on its 2025 season in Valencia, but in truth, the championship is already hurtling toward a radically different future. The atmosphere in the paddock feels heavier, almost electric, charged with anticipation, tension, and quiet urgency. Every team senses what is coming. The next 2 years will reshape MotoGP more dramatically than anything since the move to 800cc machines nearly 20 years ago. Displacement drops to 850cc, aerodynamics are nerfed, ride height devices disappear, and then, the shift that overshadows them all, MotoGP transitions from Michelin to Pirelli in 2027. This transition forces factories, engineers, and riders to rethink almost everything about how a MotoGP bike should be ridden. And standing at the center of the storm is Toprak Razgatlıoğlu, the three-time world SBK champion finally making his long-awaited leap into MotoGP with Pramac Yamaha. He enters with more expectation than any rider in recent memory, not because he must prove something, but because many believe he could redefine the sport once he fully adapts. Yet now, one of the most respected technical voices in motorcycle racing, Pirelli's own racing director Giorgio Barbier, has stepped in to cool the hype. The widespread belief that Toprak will enter 2027 with an automatic advantage, according to Pirelli, it is overstated. The post-race test in Valencia marked the true beginning of the 2026 season, and while headlines naturally focused on Toprak's first official outing on Yamaha machinery, the deeper, more consequential story unfolded around Alex Rins and the development path of Yamaha's all-new V4 engine. Rins ended the day 19th on the timesheets, but he made one thing clear: lap times were irrelevant. His job was to feel the bike, to understand how it moves, how it stops, how it transitions on edge, and how different it is from Yamaha's iconic inline 4. And despite the modest classification, Rins left Valencia far more optimistic than he had been during his frustrating Misano tests. The bike has improved slightly, he explained. The gearbox and other critical elements remain the same, but I felt more comfortable than in Misano. The shift to a V4 layout is the most significant engineering change Yamaha has attempted in a decade, and Rins revealed two essential truths. First, the braking performance is clearly better than the old inline 4, an area Yamaha has desperately needed to fix. Second, although the prototype still lacks top-end speed and traction, the underlying platform finally feels logical. As he put it, the braking feels significantly better than the old inline 4 model. While it still lacks some speed, I'm aiming to enhance traction. That last point, traction, remains Yamaha's most painful weakness. Yet Rins saw the early signs of improvement, and perhaps more importantly, he emphasized the need for internal unity. At this moment, we're working with a completely new prototype. All the riders need to pull in the same direction. Unity is more important than ever. This matters because Yamaha now has 4 riders pushing the V4 project forward. Quartararo, the benchmark, Rins, the development anchor, Miller, the experience, and Toprak, the wildcard talent, with instincts no one else on the grid possesses. The political and technical wake of this transition is enormous, and no rider's Valencia debut generated more curiosity than Toprak's. For months, fans imagined fireworks, massive stoppies, impossible saves, and instant headline pace, but instead of overdriving the bike or trying to show off, Toprak delivered something far more mature: patience. His manager Kenan Sofuoglu framed the moment perfectly. He is careful at the moment. He is very scared to make mistakes. There is just one V4 for Toprak. With only a single bike available and a long winter ahead, Toprak refused unnecessary risks. Yet even while riding conservatively, he still finished ahead of 2 Yamaha riders, Alex Rins and Jack Miller. His pace came from controlled, methodical runs in the mid-130s, gradually improving without forcing the machine beyond its limits. Sofuoglu summarized it clearly. Probably after a couple of tests, we will see the real Toprak, stopping on the brakes, sliding, pushing harder. At the moment, without pushing, he's doing great. Still, Toprak's mission for 2026 is already defined. Challenge Fabio Quartararo inside the Yamaha structure. Sofuoglu confirmed it directly. It is a hard challenge because Fabio is one of the best riders in the paddock, and if we can battle with him, that would be a big achievement. This is our target for the first season. Toprak is not rushing. He is not gambling. He is building, quietly, intelligently, and with long-term purpose. And that is exactly why the conversation around his supposed Pirelli advantage in 2027 has grown so loud. But now, Pirelli themselves are pushing back. When asked by Motorsport.com whether riders like Toprak, who arose to dominance in Pirelli tires and World SBK, would benefit in 2027, Barbier's response was immediate. I think they won't have any major problems understanding a new tire. I don't see any major issues from that perspective. He went further, referencing elite riders from past eras, Carlos Checa, Toy Bayliss, Alex Barros, Max Biaggi, who adapted instantly when switching categories. His message was clear: great riders adapt quickly regardless of tire brand. And this brings us to the heart of the discussion. Yes, Toprak's mastery of the Pirelli front and World SBK will help him. Yes, his extraordinary feel for grip, braking load, and pressure at maximum lean will remain inherent to who he is. But Barbier stressed that MotoGP's Pirelli tires will not behave like the World SBK versions he used to dominate the world. They will be designed from the ground up for the new 850cc era. Larger rims, new construction, different load profiles, and prototype-level stress that Michelin never had to match. Our DNA is present, Barbier explained, but MotoGP uses larger rims in specific dimensions. In other words, familiarity, not advantage. If anything, Barbier pointed to a completely different variable. What is clear is that those who have more time and more opportunities to test our tires throughout next year will have a slight advantage in 2027. Not World SBK experience, not Moto2 background, not Pirelli history. Time on the 2027 tires, that is the real separator, and Toprak will have no more of it than anyone else. Barbier also offered deeper insight into Pirelli's mentality and how their MotoGP project will differ from Michelin's. First, he said Pirelli measures success not through lap records alone, but through consistency. We ensure all riders have a similar product that adapts well to their bikes regardless of manufacturer. Second, uniformity is a central mission. Quality is fundamental. The more units produced, the greater the guarantee of maintaining high levels of consistency. With tire inconsistency becoming a pointed frustration in recent seasons, this philosophy could dramatically change how races unfold. Finally, Barbier highlighted the link to Formula One. There will be continuous exchange. We're developing a working method through our relationship with the manufacturers. Pirelli's MotoGP division will operate alongside its F1 arm in Milan, using advanced data modeling MotoGP teams have never seen from a tire supplier. This, data, predictability, and methodology, is the real game changer, not tire familiarity. Interestingly, the newcomers in Valencia reinforced everything Barbier argued. Moto2 champion Dio Moreira said the hardest element was not power or electronics, it was the brakes. At the end, I think the most difficult to understand was the brakes. The first exit, it was difficult to open full gas. I was a bit scared at the beginning. These struggles mirrored Toprak's early moments. Different backgrounds, same learning curve. Neither Michelin nor Pirelli shaped their adaptation. The MotoGP prototype did, and that is why Barbier remains firm. Tire brand familiarity will not dictate who thrives in 2027. MotoGP is too complex for that. Andrea Lecchetti, speaking after topping the Jerez Superbike test, summed up the sentiment inside World SBK when reacting to the early competitiveness of Toprak and Bautista. Seeing them competitive gave me great pleasure. They have shown the level is high. But he added something crucial: I can't say I am like them. They are two talents. Lecchetti echoed Barbier's point. Riders like Toprak adapt quickly because they are special. The same applies to MotoGP's elite. Toprak Razgatlıoğlu enters MotoGP carrying skills few riders in the world possess: unmatched braking finesse, an almost telepathic connection with the front tire, and the ability to ride at the edge of physics while making it look controlled. These qualities will shape his MotoGP story, not his past tire brand. As Yamaha's V4 evolves, so will he, but his rise will depend on how quickly he learns the limits of a prototype machine, how effectively he works with his engineers, and how confidently he adapts to the 2027 rulebook. Toprak will succeed in MotoGP because of his talent, not because of the logo on the sidewall. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for new upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.